In this video, I'm going to talk about how to protect your online business from lawsuits and the like by using asset protection that is available to everyone. I'm going to explain why you need to consider asset planning for your business right now and how asset protection can save your backside, along with the basic explanation of the corporate structures. So time is short, so let's get into it. Here's a scenario. You've started a business from scratch and you turn it into a success story with raving fans of people who just love and adore you and what you have to sell. You look after your customers and you keep delivering exactly what they want. Before you know it, you have an extremely successful business and the lifestyle you want to live with the money to do what you want to do. You're thinking to yourself, I just love my life. Then comes this day, that one blasted day, that day that your heart sinks into the back of your throat, that day you've thought about and have been sitting in the back of your mind, festering away, and you've been dreading would not happen. It's the day that your business is threatened because someone's decided that they're going to sue you for something that's completely out of your control. Imagine how you'd feel. You've spent a year or two growing the business of your dreams. Your blood, your sweat, and your tears have gone into this business of yours. Your livelihood is on the line here. Your lifestyle, you're stressed. So what are you going to do? Then you realize that your business and your own house are in your personal name. And now this person is going to sue you personally for the value of both your business and your house. Now you're so stressed out because you find out you could lose everything that you've ever worked for in the blink of an eye. That lifestyle that you'd worked so hard to build has now potentially just been stripped from your possession and totally out of your control. Think this situation is not possible? Then seriously, think again. This scenario happens every day of the week somewhere in the world, and it could happen to you if you don't protect yourself from the elements that are out there in this world. It really is a dog-eat-dog marketplace. The world's gone absolutely sue mad. You only have to look at the 24th of January 2011 when MSN reported 3 really wacky lawsuits. The first one being a woman suing McDonald's for spilling hot coffee on herself. The second one, a man suing a neighbour for failing to impregnate his wife. And number 3, a Jewish New Yorker seeking damages from a newspaper for falsely reporting that he was uncircumcised. All true cases, in fact. Next, you only have to look at the statistics of the most lawyers per capita to realise suing is completely out of control. In the USA, there's one solicitor for every 265 people. In Brazil, it's 1 in 326. Then you move over to a little group of islands off the coast of Australia called New Zealand, where they have only 4 million people, and it's 1 in 391. Spain, Italy, the UK and Germany round up the top 8 of countries. These countries don't have that many solicitors for show. It's a very real situation, and lawsuits are on the rise as people are looking for reasons to sue someone. And just because your country is not on this list, don't think it can't happen to you too. Hey, but don't despair. Help is very much available for you, and it comes in the form of protection that anyone can obtain to protect both your business and your house. Look at the protection much like insurance. You pay a fee for insurance and never know when the day may come that you need to use the insurance. Now, asset protection is much the same. A fee is paid to protect your business and the assets that you own from a very real threat of someone trying to take it from you, much like the example I gave you at the start. Now, before I share anything more with you, I need to state that I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, and that you should consult with your legal consultants before making a decision on any form of asset protection or corporate structures for you and your business. I need you to understand that very clearly, okay? So how can you protect or ensure that very risk from occurring in your business? It's simple, through the use of asset protection and corporate structures that are legally available for you to protect your assets. That's right, these structures are like insurance. You never know when you're going to need to use them, but boy, will you be glad that you did, much like insurance. So you're probably thinking by now, what the heck is asset protection and corporate structures? Well, very simply, asset protection is the process by which one takes to prevent the risk of their assets being accessed and seized by creditors or claimants, and corporate structures are the legal documents associated with that protection. So in other words, asset protection and corporate structures are really the legal documents used to protect your assets, much like an insurance policy. Now, like insurance, there are many different types of structures depending on what assets you need to protect and what country you reside in. There really is no one solution to fit everyone, and this is why that you need to talk to a professional who can understand your personal situation, your assets and your goals to tailor make the best solution for you. This is really critical, okay? Really critical. Now, like an insurance policy, you buy insurance for definitive reasons. For example, you buy a car and you buy car insurance to protect that car. Now, you wouldn't buy health insurance for the car, would you? It would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? At least the car would feel pretty healthy. No, in all seriousness, it is like this with choosing the asset protection and corporate structures too, okay? In a nutshell, asset protection is all about controlling and not owning your assets, because actually owning your assets equals risk from litigation, like the example I gave you at the start. Whereas controlling your assets equals protection, because you apply what is legally available to you to protect your assets. Now, the best structure solutions will come in the form of either a company, a trust, or a foundation, or potentially a combination of all. Again, only your asset protection specialist can advise you what suits you and your needs personally. So I want to take a quick minute here just to explain a company, a trust, and a foundation for you. A company is a legal entity created to conduct business that is separate from the owners, and that owner being you. In most circumstances, the personal assets of the owner cannot be touched to pay for the debts of the company. So to start a company, one must choose a name, have directors, a secretary, have shareholders, a registered office, and details of operation. Now, depending on the company and the country will depend on your requirements regarding the submitting of government documents and the lodgements along with taxation liabilities. There are so many different types of companies that I just don't have time to explain them all, as they're very different. So please chat to your asset protection specialist about these different companies. Now, a trust is a legal entity created to hold assets for the beneficiaries. The main objectives of a trust are to reduce the tax liabilities, protect the assets of the trust, and to avoid probate. There are a series of 7 ingredients that you need to have before you can start a trust, being a settlor, objectives of the trust, a type of trust, property or assets to go into the trust, the beneficiaries, a trustee, and the rules. Again, your asset protection specialist can explain these to you. And a foundation is a separate legal entity without members or shareholders, and is generally established to reflect the wishes of the founder, who may be an individual or a corporate entity. Now, these wishes are contained within the foundation's charter and regulations. Now, foundations can be established for a fixed or indefinite period of time and can be used for charitable, commercial, or for family purposes. Foundations are a very important component when structuring the ownership of a family and corporate assets, and are particularly important where trusts are not generally recognised. Now again, please talk to your legal consultants before making a decision on any form of asset protection and corporate structures for your business. So for more information, you can visit the following websites, which can give you lots of helpful information. So just click on the pause button on the video to write down the links so that you can review them in your own time. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to sharing with you again in the next video.